What's going on, everybody? My name is John. Thanks for checking out the video. I just walked out to the mailbox and have a little package from COMC. I thought another card was showing up today. It didn't show up. COMC order I thought was showing up tomorrow. It showed up today. What can you do about that? Let's go ahead and rip this open, show you guys what I got. Okay, everything's zoomed out. Here we go. COMC just came in from Washington State. There are two packages. Couple right there on top. I might just throw a couple on the stands. Probably don't spend a lot of time with everything on the stands, but there's a couple nicer cards in here. Most of these, again, these are COMC, so I have not seen them directly, just what I was able to see on photos. So you are going to be seeing the condition at the same time as I am. But this was probably one of the more expensive cards. This is a 1960 Whitey Ford, and from what I can tell, it is in awesome shape. Perfect. So I've mentioned in the past, I have been working on trying to pick up the 1960s Topps kind of Hall of Fame decade, or Hall of Fame run, specifically of 1960 Topps. So that goes towards trying to complete that 1960 Topps. Here's a fun one. I know not everybody is into jazz cards or John Stockton, but I am what I would consider a master collector for John Stockton. And I picked this one up mainly from a centering perspective, which isn't perfect left to right, but it's really nice. But these actually came in loaves of bread. And when they came over time, a number of these would yellow out. So to find one that hasn't yellowed and is in pretty good shape, I think I paid about 20 bucks for that, which, you know, you can find them slightly cheaper than that from time to time. But, you know, to find one in the type of shape and condition that I've been looking for, I was pretty happy to find that. And I was happy to find that on COMC. So the rest of these, they're going to be just kind of a mixed bag. So I've been trying to pick up Joe Morgan, just random, the base Topps cards from the 1960s and 70s. So you're going to see probably 5 or 6 Joe Morgans in here. I'm trying to get them as nicely centered as possible, decent corners. Nothing that I'm looking to grade, just want to get the raw cards. This will go in my John Stockton collection. This is just a parallel. Picked it up super cheap. Here's another Joe Morgan, a 78. Another John Stockton to go in my collection. Joe Morgan, 1970, I believe. I also collect every Utah Jazz person or New Orleans Jazz person from back in the 60s and 70s when they were the New Orleans Jazz, specifically, I guess the 70s. They weren't there in the 60s. So, but anybody with a certified autograph, I try to at least get one certified autograph of every player. They need to be in the Jazz jersey. It needs to be a Jazz card. Now I realize this is a Hornets card, but he's in his Jazz jersey. This Marcus Page. I think this is his only kind of Jazz autograph, but this, I think I'm missing 4 or 5 autographs out of maybe 120 to complete or to keep that registry up to date. But Marcus Page, that will go into that collection. Here is a 79 Joe Morgan, another just random John Stockton. This is a card actually I have, but I just needed an upgrade. Mine actually somehow got a crease on it. Here is what year is this? 76, I believe. Mike Schmidt. It looks like maybe there's a blemish in the name that I didn't notice when I originally picked up this card. But Schmidt's one of those guys. Joe Morgan is one of those guys that I'm just trying to pick up, the decades runs. Here's the 74 Joe Morgan. I'm a golf collector. I know I've showed a couple of golf cards on the channel in the past. These aren't Hall of Famers. So this is a little bit of prospecting if you want to think of it in those terms. Now, Francisco Molinari is a major winner, and so every major winner that has a certified autograph I try and pick up. So this will fit into my majors Hall of Fame, or not majors and Hall of Fame autograph collection. And then you're going to see a couple of guys. This is Doc Redman. He's just one of the bigger names, kind of hotter prospects, younger guys that potentially in a few years maybe wins a major. I expect Redman to be kind of relevant for the next couple of years within golf. So taking a little bit of a gamble there, but you're buying that card for a couple of bucks. This is the 80s. So 1980 is the last year in my Hall of Fame or, decades runs that I try and do. So there's the 1980 Joe Morgan. Package number 2. This is a tough card to find centered. So if you ever see this card centered for a reasonable price, pick it up. So this is the second year George Brett. Again, very tough card to find centered. This is pretty average, but the corners on this one are really nice. And the price that I paid, wonderful card for the price that I paid. Who's on the back side of this? Looks like another Schmidt, 1975, Mike Schmidt. Slightly OC, but nice card, decent corners. Again, just kind of goes into the, into the Mike Schmidt decades run. We'll get that one. Get all these sleeved up later this evening. Well, that was not graceful. Here's on top here, a 1969 Morgan. Another Jazz autograph card, John Lucas. This is John Lucas, the coach. This is his son. Was in the league for a little while. Another golf card. Again, kind of a prospect. Here's a cool one, Hank Aaron. This is the final Hank Aaron in the base sets from his playing day eras. 1976. Is it going to stand up there? Yeah, good enough. Yaz. This was a replacement. I was looking at my 1978s the other day, and this card had a crease on it, so I picked up another Yaz, another Joe Morgan. This is the 72. And these two actually were supposed to go on my COMC store. And I sent them to myself, not knowing that I did. But yeah, these were originally supposed to just be in my COMC store. I have these already. I've got them in copies that are, good enough for my collection. These are pretty decent copies as well. But I went from a Ricky perspective, his rookie card through 85, 86, 87, I think. And then I kind of stopped after that. So these were extras. They should have actually just been in the store, the COMC store for sale. And if you guys ever want to check out my COMC store, the link is in the description below the video. Here's an 81. So this is 82 tops. Here's an 81, just kind of classic cards of Ricky. This is a specialty. Which one was this? This is the Fleer Sprite, like the beverage card, which I did not have. So you'd think, a master collector, that should be a card that you have, meaning just the regular Fleer card. It's the same photo, but this is the Sprite edition. Here's the 75, Hank Aaron. Good corners, a little OC, left to right. Top to bottom's not bad, but good corners. Again, I shared a video with a couple other Hank Aarons. Just trying to pick those cards up when I can. And then the last card that was sent was a Tyler Cavanaugh autograph. Again, just fits in that Jazz. A lot of Joe Morgans, couple vintage, couple Hank Aarons, couple John Stocktons, couple upgrades upgrades. Anytime you can find a decent George Brett of his second year card, pick it up. Just a suggestion. And if you ever get one dead center, get it graded, and it's worth more money than it should be worth. But the 76s, specifically the George Bretts, were notorious. But some other vintage baseball, those aren't necessarily vintage, but just a couple upgrades universally, a couple autographed golf cards. and a nice Whitey Ford. That's what we got in the COMC lot. I do have another package, COMC package, that I'm about to send myself. Handful of other things, just kind of mixed bag like this, mixture of, you know, decent vintage, upgrades for John Stockton collections. That's what COMC is wonderful for. A couple autographed jazz cards that had been posted after I bought these ones and sent them to myself. Picked up two, I think two additional. And then some memorabilia, Hall of Fame baseball will be in the next COMC order, but I'll show that when it gets here. Probably with COMC, that's the one downside, is the shipping takes forever. Let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoy this type of content, if you like to see what we've got in COMC that's coming our direction, you know, hit subscribe, follow the channel, be a part of the team. If you want to check out some items that I have for sale, I am trying to move any duplicates and triplicates unless they're upgrades. So cards like this should have been in the COMC store. Unfortunately, they're not. I won't send those back. It'll cost me more to process them by sending them back. So I'll look to maybe give those away in a future giveaway video. Upgrades. But yeah, I've got some duplicates, triplicates in my COMC store. Generally in this type of condition. You know, I do spend a lot of time searching COMC for decent, you know, they might not be perfectly centered. There might be slight flaws, but I try not to buy just a bunch of you know, junk cards. You know, so anything that you'd see in the COMC store generally is probably, you know, okay or fair, you know, EX type of condition, EX to mint type of condition. So check out the store if you guys are interested. If you like this type of content, hit the the thumbs up button for me. That helps spread the content around. And let's just wrap it up. We'll just chat with you guys in the next one.